got everything in. All right, so what you guys are looking at right now is the old Victor of the Picture. I should explain what Victor of the Picture is. Essentially, it is what you should be looking forward to the most in 2025. These are the projects, the films that you should be most looking forward to. I'm not going to go into detail about everything. If you want to know more about it, I will link the first Victor of the Picture we did in the description below, so be sure to check that out where I explain it all. The only changes I've made to this next Victor of the Picture is I've deleted that bottom row there. So that bottom row where you see, stuff like Thunderbolts, Minecraft, Fast X, Part 2, it's not there anymore. That allows more competition to come through, more movies to jump off Victor of the Picture, more films to jump onto Victor of the Picture, and just creates it more interesting for everyone else as well. So it's very hard to get onto Victor of the Picture. You need a lot in your arsenal to make it. So this is the last one. We have Mickey 17 that got first. We had Superman and Avatar 2. They were in the second row, and then we had a bunch of movies coming through afterwards as well. Okay, so let's move on. Let's start this next Victor of the Picture with a lot of changes. Boom. Okay. Didn't make Victor of the Picture. We have a bunch of movies here. Nan, I hope you can still see the screen, can you?
Yes. I really want to fuck with you and say no, but...
Don't do that. Don't do that to me. Not after the stress I just went through. All right. So these are the films that didn't make Victor of the Picture. Remember, I removed that bottom row, so at least 6 of these movies are out. Let me explain some of them now. Fast X, Part 2. F11, 11 Fast, 11 Furious, Furious 11, Fast 11. I don't even know what to call it. It moved to 2026. It's no longer part of Victor of the Picture for most anticipated 2025. Same with Jordan Peele movie. 6 months ago, I was sitting down with Nan, and I'm like, Jordan Peele movie, that's in my most anticipated for next year, for 2025. But then it got delayed, and then it got delayed again. So who knows what's going on with that movie. It's moved to 2026. Same with Aang, The Last Airbender. That's moved to 2026 as well. It's moved to January 2026, which actually kind of worries me because January is kind of like the, movie dumpster for the Hollywood release slate. Nothing great gets released in January. So that makes me a little bit worried about that movie. And then we go through the movies that were relegated off Victor of the Picture. That's Elio. I know Pixar just released Inside Out 2. I know Inside Out 2 was great. But what has their track record been like with original movies post-COVID? I mean, besides Soul, it's not very good. It's not very good. So that's off. I don't have enough faith in it. Not yet. Thunderbolts with an asterisk. That movie... MCU decided to put all the most boring characters in one movie together. Yay, that's great. Tron Ares, it's probably going to be just as bad as Tron Legacy, but hey, it's going to look and sound great. So as long as Daft Punk is a part of that movie, I'm going to be a little bit excited for that cinematic experience. That's all there is to really look forward to. How to Train Your Dragon might have the most potential out of all this one here. If the studio really commits to this movie, then it can be great. But I don't think they're going to do that. Live action remakes of animated films don't usually turn out well. We know this. There's a huge track record of it. But if the studio was to commit, what they should do, they should be pushing this movie to be R-rated. I'm not even joking. An R-rated How to Train Your Dragon live action movie that feels and looks similar to Game of Thrones, I would be 100% on board with that. That would be great. Minecraft, it's just from a curiosity standpoint. Live action Minecraft movie, how does it even work? I'm excited to see how that is, but... it gets pushed off. Everything else I'm looking forward to more. Everything else you should be looking forward to more as well. Untitled Ryan Coogler movie. There's just not enough information about this, but we know Michael B. Jordan and Ryan Coogler, they make a dynamic duo when it comes to making films. They have a ton of great success together. And then there's Fantastic Four. Fantastic Four. It's off. It's off Victor of the Picture. You know why? You know why, Nan? Today, it was confirmed. The movie takes place in the 1960s and set in an alternative universe than the MCU.
That is so
there's no point. There's no point looking forward to it, guys. Just don't even care. No one wants a 1960s Fantastic Four. I mean, you may want it, sure, but we don't want it. We haven't had a great Fantastic Four movie in our lifetime. So who knows how this is going to be, but we're going to have to see something before we have some faith in it. As for me, there's no chance I'm putting it on Victor of the Picture. I haven't liked the casting. I don't like the plot development. I don't like the fact that Galactus is in it. Nothing with this movie has aligned with anything that I want from it. And yeah, that should give you some pause for concern. Marvel's track record is not going great as well. So yeah, we're going to have to see. All right, Nam, are you ready, my friend? Are you ready to go?
Wait.
Oh, he needs a drink.
Now I'm ready. Everyone else drink too.
Okay. Before we go through with this, any thoughts on the removed ones?
Nah, all good. I don't want to touch on Fantastic Four because that will just trigger me and I'll have to leave. And I've already been triggered once enough already this week, so let's not do it.
Fair enough. Me and you both, my friend. Me and you both. All right, let's move to the first bottom row of Victor of the Picture. Boom. There we go.
Oh, yeah, titles.
I can sit. Yeah, see, I can see Nan. He's looking at this. He's like, eyes wide. The photos are different. He's like, did we get an editor? No, we didn't, Nan. I just have too much time on my hands. I had to make this look good now, okay? So, we're working with a traffic light system this time. We got red, orange, and green. Green means it's a new film or it's gone up in Victor of the Picture. Orange means it's just stayed in the exact same row that it is. And red means that it slid down Victor of the Picture. So that's how we can see how things are going with Victor of the Picture. So we'll start off with the newcomer, Frankenstein. Frankenstein by Guillermo del Toro. It's about Frankenstein. You know, he loves his monsters. We've seen it in a bunch of his movies. It's got the composer, two-time Oscar winner, the cinematographer as well, was nominated for the Shape of Water and Nightmare Alley, both Del Toro's films as well. So, you know the movie's going to look and sound good. It's also going to star Oscar Isaac as Frankenstein, Jacob Elordi's in it, Christopher Waltz, Mia Goth. There's so much to look forward to with this. It's a Del Toro movie for the win. Damien Chazelle movie, he's gone down, and that's just because there's more movies that have gone above him at this point in time. We need more information on what this Damien Chazelle movie is going to be before he can go up. And then we got the PTA movie under the working title of BC Project, whatever that means. There's not much about, there's not much further details about this movie, but it's got Leo. It's a PTA movie. It's 115 million budget and PTA's first movie in IMAX. I think there's plenty to be excited about. I did hear a rumor about the plot being mixed up, really closely related to modern day politics, you know, with the whole Make America Great Again kind of stuff. So I think that makes it not as strong here, because that's a really hard movie to try and get right. So we'll have to see how that develops before it can even try and go up. Then we got Jurassic World 4. That one has slid down, and yeah, that's just because other movies have come in. And Jurassic World 4, I mean, you got Gareth Edwards there. He can capture scale. Dinosaurs need scale, so I'm really excited for it. But not enough to get higher on this list. And then we got a complete unknown, the Bob Dylan biopic by James Mangold. James Mangold is no longer in the shackles of Disney and their franchises. Indiana Jones, I'm going to write that off. That's Disney's fault. That's not James Mangold. So we're going to have to see if that's true or not. But Timothée Chalamet and James Mangold working together for a Bob Dylan biopic stays in row 5. Nan, what do we think about this? Disagreements, agreements, surprises?
No disagreements, no surprises except for Frankenstein. I didn't even know that this film existed until now. I really hope it does release next year and doesn't get delayed. I feel it's one of those films that could get delayed just because we haven't heard or seen much about it, but so far so good.
Yeah. All right. Let's go on to the next row. Row 4. 4 movies now. There we go.
Whoa, that's a big drop.
Okay. Yeah, I know what he's referring to. Let's just start off with the green. Shrek 5, row 4. Now you may be thinking, okay, it's Shrek 5. You know, we've been waiting for Shrek 5 since, I don't know, over a decade now. This should be way higher. And believe me, if this was my most anticipated list, it would be right at the top, or at least in the top 2 rows. But it is not, because I am trying to be as objective as possible in terms of giving you guys great reasoning as to what movies you should be looking forward to. Shrek 5. I mean, we love Shrek. Everybody loves Shrek. They love the franchise. But think about those last 2 movies, specifically the last movie of Shrek. What happened in Shrek 4? We don't know. We forgot because it's shit. It's so bad. It's a horrible movie. And in my mind, at least with what happened with Shrek, is that the studio just ran out of directions to take the Shrek character. There was no growth to be had with the character. So I shouldn't really have much faith that they know what they're doing with these Shrek characters. They seem to have, wrapped up their storylines completely, hence the title Shrek Forever After. But on the bright side of things, and why it deserves a spot in Victor of the Picture, is look at what they did with Puss in Boots. They made those 2 movies great. Really good. Shockingly good, in fact. And who knows? Hopefully they have a villain that was like Puss in Boots: The Last Wish. Then it'll be really great. But I need to see where they're going to take these characters before I can really get excited for it. And then we're going to go to the Smashing Machine. The Smashing Machine stays in its exact spot. It was in this room beforehand, and that's because it's Dwayne Johnson doing some acting for once. He usually plays extensions of himself. We covered that in the Red 1 trailer just beforehand. But yeah, the Dwayne Johnson in an A24 movie directed by Benny Safdie. Nayan likes the UFC. He says that he looks exactly like Mark Kerr, so he's got heavy makeup and prosthetics on. And The Rock just always looks like The Rock in every movie. Same outfit and everything. This is him completely transforming. I'm super excited to get a real Dwayne Johnson kind of performance and see what his potential is as an actor. And I think you need to be excited for that because not only is the studio and the director really good and you can rely on their consistent quality, but we're going to get something exciting from Dwayne Johnson for once. All right, Michael's just stay still because we haven't heard anything new about it. It just stays in that place right now. Who knows where this movie's going to fall? Is it going to be great like Elvis, good like Rocketman, or shit like Bohemian Rhapsody? We don't know. This movie can easily fall off Victor of the Picture or it can go high on Victor of the Picture. We're going to have to wait and see more information. And then Superman. Superman drops a lot. And it felt a little bit harsh at first to put Superman this low, but I think my reasons for what are above it is valid. Since we've done Victor of the Picture last, man, the suit reveal happened and we've had set photos. I don't know if you've seen those set photos, but they aren't looking too good. Now, we are, or at least me, I'm nitpicking a little bit, but I want to be clear that my main reasons for pushing it down this low were the other movies above it. It's not about those set photos or the suit reveal because this is a nitpick at the end of the day, but it's not a reason to be concerned, but it's just not a reason to be more excited for that kind of movie, right? They haven't elevated the excitement in any way. They've made it go down. So that's why I've done it that way. But you'll see as we get through to more of the movies that is why it's down there. Any thoughts so far?
I think Shrek 4 is an automatic top 3 tier, regardless of quality. That's my opinion.
Nope.
That's my opinion.
No.
That is a world's opinion. Shrek is love, Shrek is life. That's a mantra everyone lives by. Michael, I think it's going to stay on Victor of the Picture right up until it releases. I mean, Michael Jackson's just the most iconic pop artist of all time. Sorry, Swifties. It's just a fact. He is so iconic, and the fact that it's his nephew, that's portraying him as well. It's just, it's in the family. So you just know that they're going to do this right. And I have full faith in Michael to be absolutely successful. Smash Machine, same comments as last time. I'm excited to see The Rock do, act rather than punch.
Yeah.
Superman, I really want to see what you have above. Because I did see the set photos and I thought they were way better than suit reveal. Because my main gripe about the suit reveal was how the colours were way too dark and had that black stain. And in the suit reveal, we saw that it was actually proper Superman colours and there was no black stain. Although I am still not a fan of the red trunks. If they got rid of the red trunks and a red belt, I think it would be a very close, perfect Superman suit for me.
Really?
The collar is a bit debatable.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's got the iconic S on the back. Spoiler alert, but not spoiler alert. Just go look at the set photos that everyone on the internet right now. So yeah, I'm just intrigued. That's like what? It was second tier before. This is tier 1, 2, 2 tiers.
Yeah, it's in the fourth tier, fourth row.
Yeah,
so it's dropped 2 rows.
Yeah.
Steep drop, but I think it's deserving. Those set photos don't look anything good to me. I know color grading and post-production will change everything and how it looks, so we're going to have to see how that is. But yeah, I think the reasons are sound because 2025 is such a stacked year. But I got to respect it, Nan. You are loyal to DC, so I got to give it to you for that one. And then we go on to row 3. Boom. There we go. Okay, so let's talk about the red first. Mickey 17 drops. That was our number 1 winner last time.
What's number 1?
Mickey 7. Oh, yeah, I know. He's looking forward to it. He doesn't know what it is. Mickey 17. And it was just announced yesterday, by the way. That's what's number 1. That's a spoiler alert. You guys will know close film fans will know what I'm talking about. But Mickey 17 has dropped from number 1 down to the 3rd tier. And that is because there's been a report recently that the reason for the delay is because there's a dispute between Bong Joon-ho, who directed Parasite, an almost flawless movie, is disputing for his final cut to be the theatrical cut, the one that's released in cinemas. But then Warner Brothers is on the other side, and they're like, no, we've paid $150 million. We need a film that's accessible to the general movie-going audience so that it can make money. I understand both sides. I get it. But despite the report has been disputed by Bong Joon-ho, it still gives me a pause for concern. Again, it's been delayed to January 2025. January, we know that is the dumpster yard for movies because it's too far away from the Oscars. The Oscars that'll be eligible for will be in March 2026. And movies don't really make box office or good box office money in January. It's just, look at historical data, you can see all that. Then we got this, the obvious. Zootopia 2, Mission Impossible 8, they're staying in that 3rd row. There's no reason to make them go up and down. I think as we see more of all these movies, particularly those two, they're going to be competing for the number 1 spot. Okay. Nan, thoughts on the 3rd row? Fair enough drop for Mickey 17.
I don't know, I need to see the other two first. Oh, the other 2 tiers. But I think either Superman or Shrek should have taken Mission Impossible's thing.
No.
Bro, this thing's been delayed twice. This thing's been delayed twice. And the 7th one wasn't even that big. Yeah, sure, it's the last Mission Impossible ever and stuff like that. But, production right now, if we're going to take into consideration that, it's not doing that well with 2 delays. So, yeah.
What's a better franchise in terms of quality, DC or Mission Impossible?
Can't comment because we haven't seen this version of DC yet.
Touche. I still don't think so. And it is the final Mission Impossible. If it was not the final Mission Impossible, I would probably agree with your reasoning. But the final one, Tom Cruise is going to go all out. I think it's absolutely fair that it remains anticipation. We just got to. He's going to do something big to cap things off, and that's something to look forward to.
Skydive.
But this just goes to show how stacked this year is turning out to be. But we're going to go on to the 2nd row now. The final 3 are awaiting. The final 2, here they are. Avatar 3, Untitled F1 movie. So we'll start off with the Untitled F1 movie. It finally gets its release date. $300 million budget. Huge gamble for Warner Brothers and Apple TV. But the reasons to be excited for this one are very, very clear. So it's the smallest IMAX camera developed has been put into the cockpit of an F2 car that's designed to look like an F1 car. That's enough to be excited about. It's done by Joseph Kosinski. He did Top Gun Maverick, and we know how great that movie turned out to be. Oops, I just spoiled that for man. Untitled F1 movie. It's got Brad Pitt in it, an actor who can carry himself. It was filmed around the F1 season, so it's going to look and feel like the F1 culture that a lot of people know. So this is one where they just have a film crew inside the F1 season. And there's so much to look forward to. You're going to really feel it. Watching in IMAX is just going to be such a blast. So yeah, it's going to be a highly cinematic movie. I trust in Joseph Kosinski to bring this one to life. And then you got Avatar 3. Avatar 3 is just going to hang around on Victor of the Picture. Can it get to the top spot? I'm not really sure. Because when it comes to Avatar, it works differently because the visual effects is something that you have to look forward to. They always change the game whenever an Avatar movie releases. But then when it comes to the story side of thing, both Avatar movies have been good, but not great when it comes to story. However, when the first one was being developed, James Cameron, he didn't really have, it wasn't planned to be a 5-film saga. He had planned it as one movie. And now, blew up to $2.8 billion. And so he had to create these sequels. And Avatar 2 kind of laid the stones for these future movies to come out. So it's going to be building on a story that was left on a cliffhanger. Perhaps that makes the story better, perhaps not. We got to see where it goes. But you should be looking forward to Avatar 3 on the pure cinematic spectacle alone. This tier right here is the cinematic tier, as I like to call it. So Nan, you've already seen the final one, so I'm not even going to get your opinion, but what is your opinion on these two here? Does Untitled F1 movie, does it deserve to be in the 2nd tier?
I do know that I had it my most anticipated for this year, but just in regards
when
to
it
that,
didn't have a release date.
but in regards to that big of a jump, I definitely think either 2 or 3. I'd put
What would you have in 2?
Zootopia 2.
That's can't argue with that. Can't argue with that.
Yeah,
That's a tough one.
Avatar 3. Victor of the Picture is about what people should be excited for, right?
Correct.
They shouldn't be excited for Avatar 3.
They shouldn't.
No, I mean, the intrigue about Avatar was the visuals. The intrigue about Avatar 2 was the visuals over, I think, a 10, 12, 13-year period. This is now like a 3-year period, so there's not that much advancements. You touched upon it before. They were good movies, not great. Did everyone go see those movies for the story, or did they go see it for the visuals? It was the visuals at the end of the day, and what they're pretty much going to get is very similar to Avatar 2. So, I don't know. I mean, yeah, I don't know.
No, fair. You got some fair comments there. I'll give you that one. But, what we're hearing about Avatar 3 in terms of it being around fire, I guess he's taken on the elements now. Something to look forward to. But you might be right. If we do see, that first trailer reveal and it doesn't, show much advancement, it looks very similar to what the Way of Water is, you're going to see it drop down. But it is going to be on this, the budget's going to be something like $400 million. It's going to be something ridiculous. But yeah, we know that these movies, at least they provide that cinematic spectacle, but not much beyond that. So we're going to have to see where it goes. Should get interesting as we go ahead. This is why this year's so dynamic. There's going to be so much changes as we get through to the end of the year. But we get into the final one now. And that was one that was announced 2 days ago. I had looked at it and I'm like, no release date. It can't be on Victor the Picture. And then a release date was announced. It's Begonia. I don't know if Nayan's heard of this one. Nayan? No. Oh, Begonia. So this is one I heard about at the start of the week. It's another Yorgos Lanthimos movie. It has Jesse Plemons and Emma Stone in it. And it's about 2 conspiracy-obsessed young men kidnap a high-powered CEO of a major company, convinced that she is an alien intent on destroying planet Earth.
Oh, yes, I have heard of this.
Yeah, that's the synopsis of this one. And that sounds completely like a Yorgos movie, right? There's just, he takes these really abstract, almost silly kind of plots and makes them something thought-provoking, compelling, and just he has a way with them. We saw what Poor Things was. If I tell you the plot or the synopsis of Poor Things right now, you'd think I'm crazy. But he made that movie work. It was one of the 2023's best movies. But the thing that got me so excited about this, the thing that should make you so excited for this, is that the release date was November 7th, 2025. November 7th, we know what that means. It's going to have the full film festival circuit on its hands. It's going to have a huge Oscar campaign. This is going to be another one where Yorgos Lanthimos can finally get his Best Director win. Emma Stone's probably going to be going for another Best Actress win as well. I think there's nothing that can hold this film back. It just feels like another Yorgos movie that's going to dominate the year. Me and Nayan were kind of not against, but weren't convinced by Poor Things because we just didn't have too much exposure to Yorgos at the time, and it just looked like a big year. But judging from Poor Things, the good reception to Kind of Kindness, anything that Yorgos does with Emma Stone, it's gonna be great. Begonia's the one. It deserves Victor of the Picture. Nayan, thoughts on this list? And please don't say Superman should be number 1. Okay?
Shrek should be number 1.
No, don't do this.
I don't know. I understand your points, and I understand people like you and I should be this is the Victor of the Picture for us. But I just think in terms of the general movie audience, I just don't think it is their Victor of the Picture. I mean, yeah, people want to see something crazy and wacky, but I think Yorgos is just way too crazy and wacky, like Poor Things. I mean, I don't think a lot of people see it, which is why I think Avatar should probably take that number 1 spot or something, or even the Untitled F1 movie. I think a lot of people go see that over Begonia. But I agree with you. A lot of people should see this because it has an interesting concept. It's got a great team behind it as well. But I don't know if they will. They should, but I don't know if they will.
I mean, that's completely fair. But yeah, this is me telling them that you should be excited for this. This is what they should be seeing. And this is what you should be excited for, because these are the great movies. We constantly hear these days, and it's a gripe that I have. It's like, oh, we don't get any original movies. We get tons of original movies. Most of the movies that release are original movies. You just don't see them. You don't support them. That's why the box office is so low, and that's why studios don't make more.
Also,
so...
This dude's on like fucking crack or something, bro. 2023, 2024, 2025, all movies.
I know.
All with Emma Stone in them as well. Like, this guy is a pumping machine. Like, does he have any spare time? I don't know.
I know, yeah. Like, there's always a Yorgos movie every year, but Kinds of Kindness, that's an anthology movie, so there's no reason to be... This. If there was Kinds of Kindness, it would not be on this list, because it's just that... It's just a different style of movie, but this is one where it's gearing up to be his next big Oscar movie. And I think that's the kind of quality that you can just rely on when it comes to Yorgos, when it comes to Emma Stone. So it may not be what people want or what people will see at the end of the day. I think we're quite right in our opinion that Avatar 3, Zootopia 2, Shrek 5, they're going to be... Those are the movies that people are they're going to see the most. But this is what they should be excited for. These are the movies that they should be, the ones that they should be rooting for. But they won't. We know how general audiences are. Sorry to you guys, but yeah, if you want to support movies, Begonia, those types of movies are the ones to support. But yeah, names cancel the stream. But yeah, that is Victor the Picture for this time round.
I hit the wrong button.
Oh, anyway, we've cleared up Victor the Picture. Nan, I hope you like the segment. I hope you like those pictures, because they have the titles now, the traffic light system. It's all great.
It is good.
It's all looking good.
It's easier to read and keep up with now.
I know, but there is going to be so much changes as we get to the last half of the year. It's going to be so much fun to continue doing Victor the Picture, just because we're going to hear a lot more about it. We're going to see a lot more about those movies coming in 2025. It's so much to look forward to. That's why we're going to be changing things. That's why I got rid of that bottom row as well. Probably